fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face disguise my age. Show money that I don't have, there's words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living a fake Facebook live dream. If they post a pic of me didn't clean, but it's pizza and burgers for dinner, you know what I mean. A snapshot of vacations that I got no money to take. So you one of my sports cars, you know that it's a fake. Got my love loaded up with things that aren't even true. Pretending on Facebook is my thing to do. Yeah, 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 yeah.
2,000 friends, which I've never done met. A pic of my lunch is what you're gonna get. I had a post of your baby, say it's one darn cute kid. But I lied, cause it's ugly, that's called an online fib. I talk about success in my job and the pending promotion. But in reality it's a psych, cause I got a demotion.
Only the fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face disguise my age. Show money that I don't have, there's words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living a fake Facebook live dream.
You block me on Facebook without a judge, jury, or trial. I'll be creeping you the next day with a shiny new profile. See a pic of my family, yeah, we're having a good time. Well, the joke's on you, we have not talked in 8 months or 9. I'll tell you about the weather and the stuff you don't need to know. I'll fake a good illness so the sympathy will grow. I'll ask you to donate to my made-up cause and post selfies on the daily, that ain't breaking no laws. So don't judge the life of the fake Facebook man, pretending to be happy like no one else can. All right, here we go, popping on live.
Hey, how you doing, Jamie? It's Sunday. We've altered today's show because you are a super Bills fan. Couldn't tell that you're a Buffalo Bills fan, but the game would have been during the 7 o'clock showing.
Right.
So we moved it back to ruin my Leaf game. That's
right.
What we did. I didn't even realize. I'm like, yeah, we can move it back to 5, not realizing my Leafs are right now playing Calgary, leading 1-0, by the way. Muzzin getting the goal. So, yeah. So I'm catering to you. Next time we're going to cater to the Leaf side, okay?
Thank you very much. Yes, the Bills do play at 6:40. So I had to start this early. I appreciate the accommodation for my blood, sweat, and tears that go into these Bills all year, and we're really hoping for a big win. But right on to the show. We got something cool to give away tonight, don't we?
We sure do. Ran into Christine Dorian online a few days ago for Porcupine Ski Runners. She wanted to jump in and give away something for today's episode, which is a 1-day pass at the Ski Runners and a rental for snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. But if you win this, and we're going to tell you how you can win this in just a second, when you win this, you need to phone ahead to book an appointment. Obviously, with COVID, they want you to get outside and enjoy yourselves, but you still need to book ahead at the Ski Runners. But thumbs up to Christine Dorian for jumping on and helping us out for today's show.
Okay, and that's right. So we could talk about how you can win it. It is right up here. But all you need to do is tell us how you're keeping busy this winter. Now, Kinsman, I'm watching the comments, and we already got 3 people chiming in how they're keeping busy this winter. Do you want to see them?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, there we go. So MC Duguay, enjoying the outdoors is how I'm keeping busy and walking my dog. you know, I have 2 Great Danes. You should see me walk those big boys down the street. We do a lot of dog.
I think the dogs are walking you.
Yes, they are walking me. And I have to have them on these things called gentle leaders. I don't know if you know what they are, but it helps you control the dogs, because without them, they'll drag me right through Porcupine. It will be the end, right across the highway, and it will be the end of me.
Absolutely crazy. Your pictures. We should put a picture of your dogs up there from puppy to, I think it was like a week later they turned into giant giraffes and dinosaurs. That's how big your puppies are. One of them is like they're still growing, right? Both of them are in fact still growing.
Yes, they grow to about 18 months. So one guy's going to be 200 pounds. But okay, Leanne tells us fire in the backyard. What a great idea, right?
Nice. Love the fire.
Northern Ontario, we can have fires in the backyard around the snow. Isn't that like awesome? I should be doing that.
We should be all doing that. Having a fire, maybe on a nice, crisp, clear night. Pull out the telescope, take a look beyond the stars and see what you can see. It was kind of neat. Apparently, Saturn is at a distance, even though it's like billions of miles away from the Earth. If you zero in with a good pair of binoculars or a telescope, you can actually see the rings around Saturn right now.
You know a lot of things, Kinsman. Kathy says, keeping busy by snow, shoeing and skiing and nice walks in the bush with the pups. So that if Kathy won this would be perfect, because they probably have the best snowshoeing trails in Timmins.
She'd be a shoe-in or a snowshoe-in for this prize. And again, thanks to Christine Dorian at the Porcupine Ski Runners, giving away her pass to some lucky winner today, which we'll announce just as we're signing off here today.
Did you say snowshoeing for high? Did you go there?
That's a dad joke, isn't it?
I love it. Sarah, we are keeping busy by spending time together, playing cards and board games. Love it. I actually just found my new love for Battleship. My son got electronic Battleship for Christmas, and I found out how much I love it. And we're competitive over here. Even though he's 11, he beats me in chess, and I take him down in Battleship.
In Battleship, you're pretty good.
Should be the opposite way around, but you know. Janice tells us cooking like Martha Stewart sounds good, and trying to keep the kids occupied with walking, park, and fire pit nights, and indoor dance parties. I like that. And family bingo games. An indoor dance party. Isn't that a great idea?
That is, yeah.
That's amazing.
A socially distanced party. Obviously, we're all allowed to have small gatherings, so why not, right? Who else do we have there? Any more coming in? This is from
Go ahead, Hubby and I.
Bougie. She says, hubby and I walked the trails, just came back from a 3-hour trail walk. LOL. What's the LOL there? That's you're sore, stiff, had a good walk?
That's a long walk. Can you walk 3 hours?
No, I can't even get up my staircase. Without tripping up the stairs.
Carrie, my hubby and I organized a citywide scavenger hunt. Amazing. I love these scavenger hunts. Each couple had to solve a series of clues, make videos, and do crazy crafts and order a funny meal from one of our local fast food restaurant places. These scavenger hunts, Kinsman, we used to do this when I coached hockey, and we did it for the parents for fun. Oh, yeah, you get yourself into all types of adventures, and it's an awesome idea. You want to hear 2 more and then get on to
2 more here? Let me read the next one. This is from Colin Gagnon. Picked up the guitar again. Now, did he pick it up and play it, or is he just picking it up and putting it? I'm gonna say Colin has picked up the musical touch thanks to quarantine. Why not? A lot of musicians coming to the forefront and picking up a new hobby. Who else do we have there? Daphne on there. She says, keeping busy by growing my small dog bandana business, Pups in Style.
I wonder if she can give me a Bill's bandana for my dog.
I think I read that wrong. The small dog bandana business, Pups in Style is in there. The way I said it, I blended it all together. But Daphne and Pups in Style tuning in today's show. Thanks, Daphne, for the comment.
Okay, let's get rolling. So trivia night. When's our next trivia night?
February the 11th. A big draw for our previous one this past Thursday. Thanks again to our 7 sponsors who jumped on board. So if anyone out there tuning in from our sponsor list, we've got the next date, February the 11th. We thought we'd tie it in with Valentine's Day. And, things are going to be still in lockdown, but it'd be nice to maybe gear some of the prizing toward, when lockdown's done, right? Put it, some pampering, spa packages, flower packages. We'll see what we can whip up for the 11th.
It was crazy last Thursday, you know,
it was
over 1,700 comments. Thank God we had Mitch there to track everything. We had a lot of fun. And yeah, we're looking forward to our next one, Valentine's Day theme. So I'm going to have to cue your romantic expertise, Kinsman, for this one to get the questions together. No. Okay.
Maybe we'll ask Mitch, right?
Yeah, we'll ask the single guy. Okay, you want to get into some stories?
Yeah, let's get into something that's happening here. Mr. Biden is, of course, trending, taking over from Trump. Everybody says, "Oh, I can't wait till Trump takes the heave ho." But now people are a little bit disgruntled here. Jamie, what's going on?
Well, so it happens all the time with politicians. I find. I remember there was a point in time when people loved Trudeau, and a lot of people have the opposite opinion now. So Joe Biden, he steps into the office, right? And the first thing he did was cancel the Keystone XL pipeline project, which has a deep effect on Canadians, specifically in the province of Alberta. Now, if you follow anything with politics, and it's hard to take your eyes off it in the States at times, this is one of the things he said he was going to do. I know there's environmental and there's Indigenous concerns when it came to this project. But of course, at the end of the day, it also affects a lot of jobs and hurts the economy. So Canadians right off the bat are very upset with, what did Trump call him? Sleepy Joe? But our President Biden, right? They're upset with him.
Well, here's the thing. People knew and could see this coming from a mile away, knowing that when Trump was done, Biden was going to do this. But, they were still hiring people out on the oil sands of Alberta. And now, a lot of people laid off. I know, hundreds right across the country. I know hundreds right here in the province of Ontario, even some around here that are affected by that. So hopefully, can they reverse that? Are they going to keep this locked? What do you think? Do you think Canada's going to step in and try to right that ship, or is that pipeline done now? Look at all the work
I mean, come on, Canadian. I don't know how much Canadians have influence over Americans' decision, but we'll see where that goes. My son just posted this: keeping busy by hearing my dad's bad jokes. Love you, Dad.
He loves you, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, he does. And I know he secretly loves the jokes, but hey, listen, Kisman, I know you want to get into something here. It's a topic that's sort of been overdone. We know it. We're sick of it, but there's maybe some new information about what's going on in the COVID world.
Yeah, COVID-19, we don't like to talk about it, but we have to because it's one of the biggest topics on the planet right now. More COVID coming into Canada because of incoming flights. Canada added 206 new COVID deaths, 19 deaths, while officials consider mandatory hotel quarantine for travelers. Now, this story came out yesterday, but here's a novel idea. I'm not a rocket scientist by any means, Jamie. But don't you think if the problem is from the incoming tourists from other countries coming into Canada with COVID, can we not just ground international flights coming into the country? Yeah. That would seem like maybe the novel thing to do coming in from the cheap seats, right?
I mean, there's opinions everywhere when it comes to COVID, and this is one of them. But to me, like the oddest one that struck out to me is what they're doing with the outdoor ice rinks in some cities. They're closing them down, and even in, I'm going to say Calgary and maybe North Bay, but a few cities, they're putting sand on the rinks for the kids can't go out and play.
I'm actually going to jump in. There is more to this. You know what they say? There's two sides of the story. Obviously, people took pictures of the crews going out there with the sand on these rinks, but the real story is that these rinks were built near hydro dams, and the water was deemed unsafe, or the ice was unsafe. So they're putting the sand on those rinks to deter people from going on those rinks because you could fall through, and obviously big current. So that's the side of the story that no one hears, but that's the true story that happened.
But in my hometown, Thunder Bay, they've removed the hockey nets from the rink. So there is something in regards to this lockdown and kids not being able to go out and play. Anyways, it's crazy. We all hope it's to be over very, very soon. But yeah, it's affecting a lot of people.
And staying on the COVID talk for a moment, we sent our best to obviously one of the biggest outbreaks over this weekend. The newer cases up in Kapuskasing, extended care. So wishing from all of us here at the KINZ and KLOMP Live to the families affected up there. Hopefully we can nip this bug in the butt, this virus. But last Thursday, another story coming in. The Thursday's guidelines, led by experts at Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children, urge COVID-19 tests for all staff and students exposed to a case, and that indoor masking be made mandatory for all grades 1 and up. And I was just talking to my little guy who's in kindergarten. I said, Ethan, what is it like wearing the mask all the time? He says he likes it because he's got cool, Batman looking ones. But let's be honest here. My little guy can't even wear socks. When he comes over here, the first thing he does is get rid of his socks, let alone, I can't imagine little kids wearing masks all day in school. But that is the mandates, even from the parents. There was a note sent to our inbox Friday. Now, when we're dropping our kids off and picking them up to and from school, even the parents, we have to have our masks on, taking them to the door, and vice versa for drop off.
Yeah, it's quite the world we're living in, and maybe we'll get back to a sense of more normalcy sometime soon. But from the, I guess you call it the entertainment world, Larry King just a couple days passed away. I believe he was 87. You gave me notes, Kinsman, but you know what? I don't think you put the age, and I was too lazy to Google it.
Larry 87?
Larry King, okay, of course, he was a staple mark on CNN. He's probably one of the ones that actually built that network. But the big story, he was married 8 times. And he
was in the midst of his ninth
time. Who knows if that's what's killed him or not. But my biggest Larry King moment, let me tell you, from the original Ghostbusters. I always remember this. He was one of the first ones to report that the Ghostbusters were coming to save New York City from the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So I always remember Larry King for that. Not a true story, but yeah, Larry King, a landmark in the community, passed away. And I don't know if it was confirmed, but they said he had COVID. He was diagnosed with COVID.
Well, that's what they're saying. And then just last Tuesday, there was a story stating that the ninth, yes, he's been divorced 8 times in the middle of his ninth. She was in the middle of trying to divorce him just as of last Tuesday. So what's going on there? I'm just thinking, out of the 9, who did Larry's will? I'm hoping that Larry King put a good will together, because I'm thinking all 9 are going to want a piece of the pie. Did you see what he was worth? His net worth, $50 to $170 million, Larry King.
And maybe divided by 9. So, Bruce, your friend Bruce is telling us that the Temiskaming Shores outdoor rinks are open. So that's good. To me, that's good for the community there. And Joanne, married 8 times, took me 40 years to train mine. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you had to go through 8 spouses, 40 years to train one, what's 8 times 40, Kinsman? 320?
320? That's a lot of years. I think we just we butchered that math question, but yeah, 40 years. Thumbs up to Joanne, staying with the same gentleman for that length of time. So thumbs up to Joanne. And then there's Larry King, who says, you know what, I'm gonna date someone every 10 years. That's the base of his marriage life, right?
Okay, some more local news. La Ronde Winter Carnival. What's the update?
The La Ronde Winter Carnival getting set for next month, and the yearly debate will be soon coming to the KINZ and KLOMP Live, because we're going to have Lisa Bertrand on the show next Sunday, a week today. So she'll be here to tell us what's happening for, the Winter Carnival and the Bonhomme Carnival candidate, because Centre Culturel La Ronde revealed back just on Friday that 3 possible candidates, Emma Bertrand, Seth Guillemette, and Melissa Kelly-Lavoie, are going to be the rumored Bonhomme Carnivals. Do you know the history behind that, Jamie? Why is it such a secret? Why can't we know who's wearing the Bonhomme de Carnival? Am I even saying it right, Bonhomme?
No, we're probably butchering that, but I thought you were going to ask me what they do, and I know it's a secret, and I know it's an honor to be Bonhomme, but I don't know the history. And are you going to educate me?
I was hoping you were going to educate me because yeah, I don't know.
No.
Maybe we can ask our viewers tuning in tonight. Post a comment right now. Who do you think will win or be Bonhomme Carnaval? Because yeah, they don't tell us who it is, but we do know the candidates are going to, and they say possible candidates. Maybe just throw a wrench into the spokes. Emma Bertrand, Seth Gilmet, and Melissa Kelly Lavoie. Anybody been to those candidates' places? Is there a Bonhomme Carnival costume hanging in the closet?
Okay.
Maybe we've got some insight here on the show tonight.
So the next story's mine. You're going to have to help me out with a little bit about this, but supposedly recently there's been a low-flying plane going around the area.
Yes.
It reminds me like something Pablo Escobar used to do in his heyday. Like he went everywhere, Pablo, right? Wherever he wanted. And I remember from the series Narcos, he had these planes, but has nothing to do with Pablo Escobar, even though it has to deal with riches. I believe it's in regards to exploring more gold in the Gogama area. Mm-hmm. And people might have been concerned at first. If you do see a low-flying plane flying around your area, that's a cause for concern. But it's in regards to gold exploration. Did I get this right?
Yeah, gold surveyors. And it's funny, when I first spotted this plane, my little guys were religiously at the airport, once or twice a weekend. They always want to see their planes coming in. And we saw this one flying really low over the airport. I'm thinking, did they miss the runway? At first we thought maybe the conditions weren't right. So he did a flyby, but he kept going back, and then he kept going around, and then you saw him go sideways. I'm like, maybe it's a student pilot not realizing how to fly the airplane, learning. But yeah, it's a gold surveying plane. And the Gogama, is it the Cote Mine Project?
Right.
They've been doing some flying, and the instruments on board that plane have sensed that there's enough gold to keep that mine in business for another 18 years, which is some exciting news here for the area.
Joanne said she saw one today on her walk. There was one. So I haven't seen it yet. Have you?
I saw it, yeah. I asked Noel Belair. He's our local Timmins Top Gun. We're going to have him on an episode in the summer. Maybe he'll take us up to do one of our episodes live from the cockpit. But anyway, he said it was a gold survey. That's where I got the gold surveyor info from.
That's awesome. Okay, so you threw at me a Bigfoot. Bigfoot's been around forever.
We know it's been around forever. We've never seen it.
Okay, but what's happening? Did you see a Bigfoot one night, or like?
It's not me. No, this is a strange story from British Columbia. And do you believe in Bigfoot, first of all? And is it a Bigfoot or a moose? Because possible sightings shocked and excited residents of a small BC community in Silverton, British Columbia. Now, this happened back on Christmas. Story just coming out now, because I'm guessing everybody's probably thinking no one is ever going to believe us. So right. First of all, they're probably like, do we phone? Is there such thing as a Bigfoot hotline? And apparently there is, Jamie. Did you know there's a Bigfoot hotline? People are sitting there right now. Phone probably has cobwebs. It's just sitting there. Probably hasn't rung in forever, except for the phone call stating that we've seen this weird creature. Now I'm gonna read you what happened in the story. It says a group of travelers spotted what they thought was a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch near Silverton, BC. Mm-hmm. 4 friends headed to their home on Highway 6, just outside of Silverton, on that evening of December 25th, when the people in the front of the vehicle saw what they thought was a huge man-like figure on the side of the road. One person's account, Jamie says, I didn't see the creature myself. I saw the prints. So they had to go back with the Bigfoot, the researchers, to see what it was. Are you curious to find out what it was?
No, but I'll tell you what. My favorite comedian, Mitch Hedberg, he has something to say about Bigfoot. I'm going to play it for you right now.
All right.
I think Bigfoot is blurry. That's the problem. It's not the photographer's fault. Bigfoot is blurry. And that's extra scary to me because there's a large, out-of-focus monster roaming the countryside.
It's true, right? He's probably just blurry.
We've got all this high-tech technology, iPhones. We can zoom in with the new iPhone 11 and 12s now, like 400 meter, like 400 times on the zoom. And we still can never get the creature. But are you ready for this? They examined and photographed the tracks And they said at first, before they got the actual results, they said, we don't think these are human-like. And they thought the stride was too big to be any type of bear. But yeah, it came back. You ready for the answer? It turned out to be moose tracks.
Logical. Okay, so
Right.
logical. Logic wins the day. Carrie liked the story, LOL, but I don't know what's going. This Bigfoot thing never ends. But you want to talk about it? Okay, you stuck me with this story, Kinsman. I always ask you about your relationships, and you get a little bit red. Now maybe it's my turn.
Well, I'm throwing this one. I made sure that we alternated that
Right.
you would land on this story for everybody on Gwyneth Paltrow. What is she?
Okay, so Gwyneth Paltrow has come out with these candles that smell like her, and you're saying vajayjay, okay? Those are the words you told me. You're just weird, Kinsman.
We don't know if there's any kids watching out there, right? So we gotta keep her a little tame.
Right.
Yeah, her vajayjay candle.
Supposedly, that's what the scent's supposed to be, but someone had purchased the candle by the name of a Joy Thompson.
Actually, she won it, so she didn't buy it. They can't even, I don't think anybody's really buying these, so they're giving them away. But yeah, what happened to good old Joy in the UK?
Okay, so the candle exploded, right? And I don't think that Joy was happy with the scent that was promised, I guess. What scent did she expect once the candle exploded? And I believe, what is she looking to? I guess you can't return something that was given to you for free or it's exploded. No. What's a happy resolution here?
They actually said they were actually going to send a new candle to this Joy, and they've happily declined because not only did it fail, I guess, explosion testing, it failed the scent testing. And again, Gwyneth sells these candles. Do you know she sells these candles if you're not winning them like Joy did?
Right,
$78. And yes, the actual name of the candle is Smells Like My Vajayjay. And apparently the scent she uses to create the scent is geranium, citrusy bergamot, and cedar is apparently the smell of that candle.
What a mix. Well, what a mix, Kinsman.
Is it worth $78? Who knows? Anyway, anybody out there try these candles? Let us know in the comment thread.
Well, yeah, that's right. So the Anti-Hunger Coalition of Timmins, yes. What's shaking with them?
Jennifer Vachon, she's the head executive director of Anti-Hunger Coalition here at Timmins, and they're getting set for the coldest night of the year coming up next month. Gonna reach out for Jennifer, and she'll possibly be a guest here on KINZ and KLOMP Live, and she's encouraging people to register for that big night. And this year, due to COVID, it will be a virtual event. There had been some rumors. That's why I wanted to talk about this tonight. There were some rumors circulating around the city that they were going to allow some people to attend with, COVID restrictions in place. But those rumors are false, and people will now gather online for their big night next month, with hopes of raising at least $40,000 for its food security programs to increase access to affordable, healthy, and fresh food for everyone, and also supports the homeless and the hungry community here in the city. So again, we'll see if we can get Jennifer on the show and chat further on the Anti-Hunger Coalition and the coldest night of the year. So if you follow them on Facebook, that's where Jennifer wants you to go. You can register for that big night.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love what they're doing over there. Raises good awareness and hopefully some funds. And yes, we'd love to have them on the show, and anything that we can do to promote what they're doing. Absolutely. Okay, so we've had a little bit of snow here in the last few days. We've had a pretty easy winter, correct? Would you agree?
Yes. Pretty easy in comparison. Looking at Facebook photos where I think the snow last year was shoulder height at this time. It's not even near that. But we do get our bouts. When we go spans without snow, we still get some. And in fact, we had some over the weekend.
Right. Back in my day, the snow was this high. But you and I, we tried something. Do you want me to show the video?
What did we try?
Okay, we did it a couple days ago here.
I know. I'm just teasing you. Let's watch.
I'm just gonna play it.
So this is what I wake up to today. We had a bit of snow. I bought a brand new ergonomic shovel.
Kinsman, you want to brag about your snow shoveling skills? They're absolutely nothing compared to mine.
For the shovel with the bend, is it ergonomic?
Look at me, I'm out here with one boot and one sandal because this foot is swollen. Nothing stops me.
So let's have some shoveling fun.
Now the first thing I'm gonna do is put on my mitts. These bad boys, Oh yes, they're certified up to -3 degrees. This is the abominable snow car. Now I'm not gonna brush it because I'm too lazy. I'm just gonna use my girlfriend's car. Watch how fast I can build a whole snow hill. You see? All done in a matter of seconds.
We're not all lucky like you, Clomper, who get neighbors who shovel your driveway.
Well, the work's all done. Time to head in and... What? Oh, the basketball net. I'll put it away tomorrow. Now? Fine, now! Let's go inside. I'm doing nothing. I love the end of that video.
My boys loved that ending too. They said, "Papa, what are you doing?" Every time they saw that ending there, they'd break out in stitches. But no, that was a lot of fun. We have some fun. Obviously, you know, we live up here in the snowy north. We can't complain about it. We just have to go and have some fun with it, right?
Yeah, we absolutely do. Okay, you ready to bring on our good third friend, Mr. Mitchell Wilson?
We're looking for Mitch's opinion. Yes, let's bring him on. Where is he? There he is.
You say third friend. Technically, it's only 2 friends, Jamie. That's all you've got.
Yeah,
I'm just counting 1, 2. Yeah.
We're socially awkward. We only have these guys. I've only got you and Jamie in my circle. That's it.
That's great. But that's how it should be during COVID times, right?
Well, that's it. Yeah, we're socially distancing. That's why we're doing this, and you know it's working out pretty darn good.
Realizing I forgot
Mitch adjusting his seat there.
Yeah,
Mitch, to do this.
Your seat fell on the floor. The kitchen chair does not go up as high as I'd like it to. I was thinking about Bigfoot, and you guys mentioning that there, and I'm wondering if my friend Bob is not just roaming around Timmins. I know he knows that I live here, and he has a whopping size 14 foot, which means you don't actually get to go to the store and buy shoes. Or you can, but you may have 1 or 2 shoe to choose from. You normally have to get like special shoes ordered online. That's something you would have had to go to a cobbler back in the day.
Boat paddles on the bottom of your feet.
Yeah, size 14. Like, you guys know what that looks like? Can you guys even fathom?
That's two Subway subs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, before we get on to your piece, Mitch, Bruce says he has a pair of 100% double Saskatchewan seal skin socks that I can have. Thank you. Please ship them right away. No boots needed. Nice.
Bruce, tuning in from New Liskard tonight. Thanks for tuning in, Bruce.
See, but seals don't need boots. That's the thing. They don't have feet. So I'm wondering.
We got flippers.
Yeah, exactly. Are these socks flipper shaped, or are they?
Can we just call them flippers instead of slippers?
All right, my bad jokes have gone on long enough. Let's.
All right, Mitch. So
let's dive into your opinion here.
Yeah. Excuse me. Give me a sec, and I will get the presentation going. Boom! I can no longer see myself. Throw the screen up when you're ready.
We're ready. You're on.
Okay, so this one was kind of inspired in a couple of pieces. I'll start with my introduction to Timmins. People saying, okay, well, one of the big things you got to remember here is that you have to walk your car. You have to walk your car. And I did for the first, I don't know, however many months. And then early spring this year, I forgot one night. And next thing I know, it looked like Hurricane Katrina took the inside of my Civic for a ride. They stole inexplicable things. I'm not sure what they were hoping to do with flares, but now they have them, as well as some blankets, which makes a lot more sense. And the gas card in my emergency gas card in the console. Okay, it was fine. It's one of those things you just kind of reflect on. Part 2, of course, is just the general chatter around town that I've seen on the Facebook pages and discussions about the state of our city and crime within that city, drug use, etc. And then I also was reflecting on the way that cities have been made going forward too. You'll feel me circle back to this one, but for example, my hometown of Kempville, which I mention often because I do love that place, it's got this old town that goes up. There was actually a Neil Young music video, as an aside, that features a shot of this downtown street. Prescott Street is called. And that's like the historic downtown of Kempville. It's got these nice old buildings on it. But recently, the highway's gone through town. Highway 43, they call it, which goes east to west. And that's got all the things that you now would want to do on it, from Walmart to the grocery stores, to the Shoppers Drug Mart, to restaurants, to the high school. It's all on that road. Meanwhile, the downtown, it's got a coffee shop. It's got the library, which is only a recent addition, but that's like a couple restaurants. Pretty much it. It had a sad existence. Similarly, when I went home from the holidays, North Bay had a similar thing. I stayed a night over in North Bay, split the drive in two, and just have a night to myself in North Bay. Now, that to me is a vacation, but little did I know that they were going to actually have like the restaurants and bars closing at 10:30 that evening, or I probably would have just drove all the way home, because I got to my hotel, set up my stuff, and then went out. And then next thing you know, they're telling me last call. But I asked the lady at the desk, I said, because I don't know a thing about North Bay. And so I went to the street with the Christmas lights, that main street. And I asked the concierge, like, oh, well, which streets do I want to avoid walking alone at night tonight, December 23rd? She said, yeah, the main street there. And I said, wait, the one with the Christmas lights? Yeah, you want to avoid that one. She recommended a similar street to the Highway 43 I was describing, which would be our Algonquin Boulevard on the Riverside side, to compare. Yeah, that's the one that you'd feel safe on. Okay, so the highway with no aesthetic, no downtown feel, no downtown. Man, bringing us back to this summer. Me kind of trying to meander around town, check out what's going on, and there's equal parts sketchy looking folks and police cars. And so no wonder that the people at Timmins are kind of thinking, well, what do we do from here? Things don't feel exactly right. And so I'm going to go back to some crime statistics. November 2017, this is Maclean's magazine, Most Dangerous Places in Canada. And it had ranked 56. Timmins had ranked 56 among the 229 municipalities. I believe it's up to 237 in the latest numbers, which unfortunately are only last year's numbers. But in terms of violent crimes, Timmins ranked 23rd. Skip forward to the 2019 index. You see we've gone up here. For violent crime, we're number 10th overall. And those are the latest numbers. 10th overall in Canada for violent crime. Now, I have said before, in a city with 42,000 people, you get like one murder. And that goes up by 2.2 per population per 100,000, which is how they measure it. So there is some statistical stuff with that. For example, one of those in Toronto would, of course, raise that a lot less. But here we go to the 5-year change in crime severity index, because you could have one off year, but I think what's important is the trajectory of it. And here we rank number 7th, which is not a good thing. You don't want to be in the top 10 for this one. Right. And needless to say, number 7th in the 5-year change in crime severity index. So went to some news. Maybe you've heard about this across the year. Maybe you have not, but this is an article from iHeartRadio, September 2020. Brianna Humphrey, who's the owner of Radical Gardens, recently invested in some barbed wire at a restaurant. In the past 5 years, she's experienced 17 break-ins at her business, mostly from people looking for money or for drugs. Humphrey said it would mind blow most of the people how often she sees these types of problems. Quote, what I want to see is less people dropping dead on my property, less overdoses, less constantly calling the police because I have someone passed out. It's not that we don't care. We really do. We run out of the restaurant, administer first aid, and make sure they're breathing, said Humphrey. And before we move on to the next business, I want to make sure that I point out how much I love Radical Gardens and how much I'm not trying to attach Miss Humphrey's stance here to my opinions. Not trying to do that at all, but it is something that happens, especially at the corner of 5th and Balsam, where they're located. If you guys know anything about that particular side of the tree streets, let's just say it ain't Melrose. The owner of Lemongrass Gift Shop, Sonia Beeman, contacted CTV News last week to share a story of how she was randomly attacked and suffered a concussion. Last weekend, she said her attacker confronted her again, making threats on her life. Another person broke the glass in her front door. Natalie Lavasseur said she has also had to clean up after vandals breaking her front window and ripping out landscaping. She has witnessed people using substances in the back of her building and sometimes has to call the police to walk her and employees to their cars. Mark, you know our nice little secluded spot we used to have behind the Rogers radio stations there? Yeah. I have witnessed in broad daylight people cozying up next to my Civic as a safe little spot to do their drugs, which I didn't say anything. I know they weren't doing nothing to my car. I let it happen. That is my stance, but like, you know, if I was walking with my 2 3-year-olds, I'd probably have a different take on that, right? Anyways, moving forward. Quote, we're all here to pay taxes, and if we all leave, then what's going to happen to our business core? Lavaseur said. We need to all work together as a team. We also need to be heard, and this is why we're all coming out and speaking, voicing what's happening, because we all need to address this as soon as possible. Timmins Police said they've recently made a change to their scheduling of patrols, which I certainly noticed this summer, which is why I mentioned the equal parts sketchy dudes and cop cars. 56 break-and enters in August of this year. Half of those are residential, the other half commercial, and you need not look no further than the plywood, on the beer store, on Lynn's Variety, on Broadway Diner. Need I go on? The other ones I've listed. And of course, did I phone my car breaking into the police? No, I knew there's nothing they could do. Nothing they could do. Not to mention it's not. So there's all those happening. In the meantime, I found a young kid's ID strewn across the ground. And I returned them to him. But unfortunately, whatever money or debit cards probably went with the culprits for that. So I'm stressing the point here that you guys all know that exists. So what do we do about it? Well, Mark Depati, communications coordinator with Depati. Thank you. I was wondering if I did that correctly or not. But now, Mark, given your francophone bona fides, I may or may not have been right the first time. We'll see. No, I'll take your word for it. He said it's safe to say that there has been a decrease in residential break-ins since the lockdown. The reasons he feels that is the case, or maybe the statistics bear that out, is that there's increased patrols, there's increased calls reporting suspicious activity, there's increased use of motion detection lighting and remote activated hidden cameras. People are spending more time at home because they have to. The seasonal conditions make locating suspects easier. So there's footprints left in the backyard, and then seasonal conditions like extreme cold and high snow banks typically discourage would-be thieves from accessing sheds, outbuildings, garages, etc. So the reason that, well, this is just factual. I'm not doing anything against the Timmins Police Service or Mark Depati here. It's strict to lower the break-ins in town. Here's what we have to do. Be on perpetual COVID-19 lockdown, perpetual -20 with perpetual snow. And by the way, make sure your house is Fort Knox with the security things, right? Is that really the way we want to take this? I don't think so. I do not think so whatsoever. Now, of course, I have this other one side by side as well. There's this meme going around, how it started versus how it's going. We have the new disposal boxes for the needles of the Timmins streets. There's, I believe, 3 boxes. One in Schumacher, one in, you know what, I'm not remembering. But there's 3 locations, I believe. So there's how it started, how it's going. That's October 1st, 2020. How it's going. From Timmins Today, November 2020, quote, we have been experiencing a number of issues recently with property cleanups with discarded needles. In one instance, there were 2 5-gallon pails of needles collected. The recommendation is for a $500 biohazard fee to be added to the property owner. So there you go. They're adding some bins. They're trying their best. But basically, if you don't want to risk getting pricked yourself by biohazardous material, just pay the city $500. They'll take care of it for you. That's fair. So my approach would be 3-pronged. And I think I want to make it very clear here. I do not have any solutions to this. These are just my thoughts. So first and foremost, this is a sentiment I've seen echoed a lot. Same names over and over in the newspaper. I got here written, catch and release is for endangered and terrible tasting fish, not vandals and criminals. Look, I can fully get down with the idea that you make a dumb mistake at the age of 16, 17, maybe even 18, you get that second chance, but eventually there's consequences for your actions. I do indeed have so much sympathy for people who have had a bad roll of the dice in life, which is an absolute reality. Absolute reality. I don't want to take away from that whatsoever. But my sympathy ends where someone's glass window starts. And as soon as you shove that brick through that glass window, my sympathy stops, man. You're now preying on the community that you're hoping to help you, if you're hoping for that help at all. And these are human beings, after all. I give them autonomy. I give them the choice to make their own thing. So, yeah, no, catch and release this thing. Why we see the same names in the newspaper over and over, got to be done. Now we move on to the homelessness and addiction part, which needs to be addressed. This one's a lot more nuanced. I ended up throwing together a couple slides to talk about this, but I think that's a presentation in and of itself. So we go first and foremost, where I'll side a little bit more with the left wing perspective, is the disproportionate funding here. You see, you got the Timmins percent of the population that is homeless were 1.7%. Cochrane District 2.37%, compared to the national rate 0.6%. And other northern districts like Kenora 1.08, Manitoulin with 0.92, Thunder Bay at a whopping 0.32, doing well. But you compare that to what the funding goes, $640 per individual in the Cochrane District, Kenora at $3,800, Manitoulin $5,000, Thunder Bay $7,500, give or take. And the point of that is that when you have a rate that low, of course the funding goes up a lot per person because the rate's a lot lower. So it's one of those things. I'm not sure where that should land, but it's something to be looked at for sure. But I think that's only secondary to the spiritual problem we have here. Like, you can just cut checks, right? And housing, you can cut checks, cut housing, allow people to just kind of hang around, like you're looking after the house plants behind me. That's not what a human being is. That's not what it means to be human. You need a purpose. And among that, we got ourselves the spiritual community, as well as 12-step programs, things like that. The sort of purposeful level. Why do I do this? Why am I here? Why do I care? Well, God's a good reason. And I know that there's a lot of people that are not so much with that. And that's okay. Don't be taking it out on me, because that's your prerogative. But I'm just saying that when you got nothing left to lose, maybe sometimes asking for an external help can help, even if it doesn't help you personally. Employed without a drug problem. See what I mean with the contrast there? Family, huge, important. Hobbies, like where is your time spent that is outside of the habitual drug use? Gigantic. And most importantly, I got this in all caps, because work, man, you get that going. You get people to set an alarm for 8 o'clock in the morning. Even if there's problems with it, I think a program like that could go a long way, not just for building up the community. Like, there's a bunch of infrastructure projects and cleanup projects and other things that can be taken on using the workforce that we have not currently being used, which are the people who are struggling with this. So then, yeah, using a sense of the community, like us knowing each other to determine who is mentally and or physically incapable of caring for themselves. Because if you're not capable mentally or physically of caring for yourself, that's where resources should be provided. And to not say it in comparison to what I said earlier about the house plants, because it's not like that. These are people that actually can't do that, therefore deserve those resources directly, versus those who are more stuck in a spiritual trap of the addiction, who young men especially, who totally could be out there working at stuff, but just have never been shown that path. I don't think it's a bootstraps thing. Just lift yourself up by your bootstraps. There's never been an example for them by which they can model their lives. This is kind of, the way things go, or at least the decisions that have been made up to that point, and appropriate resources for that as well. Work programs. So I see a ton of funding. I see lots of six figures, and I see a lot of talking. Well, we just don't have enough funding. If only the federal and the provincial governments would just give us more money, we could address this issue. But where are the results year over year for the more and more money that's come in on this particular issue? I would love to see results, but all I see is the crime going up. So maybe we need a different approach altogether. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say it's entirely the government's fault either. Like, this is a culturally very interesting time. I'll draw back to my discussion on the church and how controversial that might be, even just to mention that. But I believe that all has contributed to this environment and so forth. I would like to point out a chart that does bear this out. This is from the States, but the Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty began in 1964. You can see a steady decline in the poverty rate, followed by a continued decline and then a stagnation with a little bit of up and down. And that was since that started. And I think part of that has to do with the houseplant thing I mentioned before. You get people on a pattern of being a permanent underclass. They're dependent on that government assistance instead of building their own way. Not saying that I'm not making value judgments here. I'm making observations. And I think ultimately, if we got to choose, it'd be better if everyone got to build their own way versus getting those checks. But sometimes the checks are necessary. So like usual, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. The Timmins Safety Coalition recommends, well, here's their mission. make Timmins safe again. They got create a safe environment for the residents of Timmins and the downtown businesses. 2, living spaces for Timmins residents only. 3, living space operations at low barriers are increased to high barrier. And 4, accountability with Timmins police and our justice system to apply the law to all criminal activity. No more catch and release. That's their suggestions. I got some thoughts on that, but I'll just let that percolate with you. We'll talk about this more in the future since I've pontificated long enough already. Bringing us back to the 3-prong before. Why are we seeing the same names in the newspaper? Catch and release? No. My sympathy ends where a brick hits the window of Lynn's Variety. No, thank you. Number 2, homelessness and addiction. That's the big thing on top of that. Number 1 stems from number 2. So if we can get, and that needs more conversations that doesn't just involve funding. A lot of these are community oriented and getting to know the people. And I'd be more than willing to, if people want to reach out, thinking about how to do that. I got some free time right now. I'd be happy to lend my time, whether it's serving soup or whatever. I don't know the answers here, but I do know it doesn't just come in dollars and cents from the federal government. We are a community. We like to talk about our independence here up in the north all the time. We don't need those governments to solve our problems here. We can do it. So let's think about that. And then, of course, number 3, this stems from being safe with your kids, locking your car and your doors, because those things do happen. Take precautions for yourself. Be strong. People might yell at you, especially for things like this. Well, Mitch, you don't understand. It's all these circumstances beyond their control. And it's like, well, what you're saying then, and I've gotten this a lot, it's, well, circumstances, it's beyond their control. These people are in circumstances, they just ended up there. Okay. So you're saying there's no help. There's no help. I don't believe that at all. I believe that we can make these things, but it involves conversations like this. Be them a little bit boring. I'm a little bit self-aware about how long I've been going on. And then of course, I think most importantly of this 3rd prong of my 3-prong approach is be kind. Like, remember that these people are in circumstances that are incredibly unfortunate. It's hard to imagine the harrowing spiral that ends you up in a spot like that. So be kind. Like, yeah, give them a cigarette or a Timbit or a coffee or a sandwich, whatever, stuff like that. Like they are a part of our community. Mm-hmm. We are a community. And I love that. And I think that's the most important. Be safe, be strong, be kind. And that concludes that presentation. How we doing on time there, fellas?
Yeah, it was good, Mitch. I think you put a lot of thought, intelligent thought into a very complex problem that doesn't have a simple solution. So, yeah, we absolutely appreciate your feedback and thought and ideas on one of the things that, Joanne says, well said, Mitchell. I like how you recognize that it's not an easy solution and you've given some thought of how to approach it. So I think people appreciate that.
Well, as usual,
Bruce tuning in from New Liskeard today, saying that it's great that we're touching on these subjects because a lot of people kind of bury them under the rug, and it's that was Bruce's comment. Jennifer says, "Great presentation, first time tuning in." Thanks, Jennifer Gadry, for watching the show today.
Good, awesome job, Mitch. Like always,
appreciate the kind words. Now, I do have a couple of things that are a little more inane. Do you want to take a look for a sec? One of them directly involves you guys.
Okay. One, but then we have to do this draw.
What's that? Sorry?
We can go for one, but then we have to do the draw. Okay.
Well, then I've okay, good. Throw up the screen here.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do it like this so I can actually see what's going on. Boom. Okay. So look at this guy. So, Ignace, how do you pronounce that? Ignace, Ontario?
Ignace.
Yeah.
Ignace, thank you. Gets a Snowgate. Have you heard about this? I thought when I saw the word Snowgate, I thought it was like Watergate, like one of those things.
Yeah.
But no. A Snowgate is a literal piece. It's this thing right here. And check this out. So here's the grader, and there's the little Snowgate on the side. So the snow's pushing, and then when he comes up to a driveway, throws down the Snowgate. Boom.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
Now you don't have to do that little mess down there. Now, this piece of equipment is $15,000 a piece, I believe, what it says.
Just for the gate?
Yeah, the gate costs $15,000, but it's easy to operate, given the taxes that the people of this fair city pay. Maybe we could look into that. Maybe.
That is really cool.
All right.
That's
Now,
pretty cool. I've seen that on a few videos before, and the cities that do have it, you wake up in the morning. Nothing worse than waking up when you have to scrape the car off at 4 a.m. or something like that to get to the office, and then there's that big pile at the end. But that would save a lot of headaches and time, wouldn't it? Having one of those.
Yeah. That's the worst, when the plow just comes by and you're just ready to go, and then out to do another half an hour shoveling.
No. This is how I take it. Probably everybody else can get into the same mode that I do. When you go out there and first shovel, get the car started, you're back inside warming things up to get ready to go. Then the plow comes. I've got no time to reshovel again. So it's just, put it in reverse, hope that there's no one out there, jam the gas, and I just barrel through the thing at the end.
I watched a neighbor do that the other night, by the way. I was just sitting in my car getting home, doing some text messaging, change up the scenery from the 1-bedroom apartment. Then I saw her try to do the hero move of going over top of the thing. And no. I'm just sitting in my car. I'll help you out. But no, there was another thought on that. I lost. Jamie, I want one more quick 20-second segment, because you'll never guess what my parents found this morning looking up this show.
Okay. First of all, a couple compliments. You like compliments, Mitch?
I do, but you don't need to do that. It's going to make me blush.
And says you guys are awesome. And Chad says, love the realness of this local video podcast. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chad at Elite Geeks.
Thank you. All right. What is this? KLOMP? Brutal. What is this?
Brutal Farmers of Death Metal. This is what my parents found when they were looking up your podcast. I don't know how. I tried to recreate the Google search, but sure enough, and it's not a huge thing. 45 people liked it. They haven't posted anything since like 2014. And so look at that profile picture, move swiftly on. And unfortunately, we didn't get the sound going, because I'd love to play you a tune from these guys. It is, the Brutal Farmers of Death Metal pretty much paints exactly the picture of what was going on sonically, listening to their actual music. But I just wanted to show you guys the type of company you share the namesake with, specifically awesome. Jamie, of course, because there's no KINZ for this deal. Although KINZ, you could probably reach out and say, hey, you're missing a KINZ from this KLOMP project you got going on.
Get on a future episode, maybe, Jamie.
There we go.
KINZ needs its KLOMP.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mitch Wilson. We will be seeing you on Tuesday.
Sounds like a plan.
All righty, bud.
That was, Mitch gives a lot of thought to how to improve our community, and he's an intelligent man, and we really do appreciate his feedback. Now, what do we do, Kinsman? Well, I'll tell you one of the things we do.
We're giving away prizes.
We give away prizes, but first is the taco life hack. I didn't want to do this before the prize.
Okay.
We are going to go through the final comments. But you shared me. It's the first time you shared me something. I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. So I love this.
We were talking about this a few days ago when I said I was going to have taco night, and I said, do you eat the hard shell or the soft shell? And what was your answer? You're the hard shell guy.
I'm Mr. Softy.
No, you eat the softies now?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what you're up to here.
Here's the hack.
Hey, how you doing? It's Mark Kinsman for KINZ and KLOMP. Taco night here in the Kinsman lair. Going through a taco life hack I saw online, stating why that soft shells and the hard shell are sold in the same box. In fact, you're going to find out in a few minutes here. I'm going to spare you the nasty details of me eating those hard shells, but you're going to find out why the soft shell is called the cleanup taco. So it's been literally 2 seconds since you saw the hard shells on the soft shell taco on my plate here. Taco night here on a Friday night. So in the first video, showed the 2 hard shells on the soft shell, wondering why the soft shell is beneath the hard shells. Well, we call it the cleanup taco for this. Look at that. All the mess from the hard shell that falls beneath, usually on the plate, is now caught by the soft shell, where you now fold it into a third taco in a soft shelled taco. So there you go. Taco night life hack from the Kinsman lair.
And there you have it.
And Joanne says it's like a taco bowl. Awesome. Your food hacks, Kinsman. I'm definitely going to give you that. That was pretty cool. So I'm actually going to try that around here. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready to pick a winner to the free pass and rental from the Porcupine Ski Runners?
I think I am. And again, Christine Dorian, Porcupine Ski Runner, is providing a 1-day rental and a pass to go snowshoeing and cross-country skiing at Porcupine Ski Runners.
Now, hold on, because I know we got some extra comments, so we want to take a look at them.
Well,
and then I have an idea of how we're going to do this.
Okay.
So just make sure I don't miss anything. Bruce says, training dogs and walking the trails.
Okay. Thank you.
Natalie, snowshoeing outside and reading more when indoors. You know, I just started reading again. This is something that I missed. Listen to Colin play the guitar. This must be Colin's spouse. So Colin
he was picking up the guitar, right?
Yeah. Okay. Just give me a second there, KINZ, while I'm going through. I got a few here.
A few.
I don't miss anything, but you definitely will be in the draw. Pat says snowshoeing and enjoying the great outdoors. So another snowshoeing fan, right?
A lot of fans of the Porcupine Ski Runners, or just a lot of people go off trail. But again, Porcupine Ski Runners, a great place here in our own backyard. If you've never been, you should go check out Christine Dorian and the rest that, run the place. What else do we have there?
I believe that's the last one.
Melissa says, how do I win? Well, that comment, Melissa, gets you in to win.
Yeah. We're looking for, and specifically, we're looking for us to tell us how you're keeping busy this winter. And Momo says, wow, very nice.
There you go, Momo.
So thank you so much. And and then my partner, Terry, she has a profile pic of me in there. Love the taco hack, Mark Kinsman.
There you go, Terry. I know you don't have tacos today. It's pizza night at the Buffalo Bills lair this evening, isn't it?
Yeah, Buffalo. I can't wait, Kinsman. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a quick number of people that commented.
Okay.
I'm going to get you to pick a number of randomly, and we're going to tell you who the winner is. So you want to bear with me and while I do some counting. And let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel the pressure's on here, KINZ.
You're feeling the pressure? That is a great profile pic, Terry. Terry upstairs, she was getting your miniature pizzas ready while we were doing this show now. And yeah, the taco hack. I used to always wonder, why do they have the soft shell and the hard shell? And someone told me many moons ago, and never had a name for it, but we call it the cleanup taco now.
All right, Kinsman. Here's what I'm going to get you to do. Instead of picking a number, I'm going to. You can't see what I'm doing, right?
I can't see anything.
You can't see anything. So I'm going to scroll through the comments, and the comments go to top, and then they get removed, top to get removed. Okay. When you say stop, the top comment's going to be our winner, okay?
Okay.
I've randomly dispersed them. So even if you were the first comment, it's still randomly done, okay? So you tell me, I'm scrolling right now. You tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Stop right there.
And who is it?
The first one would be Natalie. Well, I'll post the comment.
Natalie Claru.
Yes.
Snowshoeing outside, reading more when indoors. Well, guess what, Natalie? If that's the way we're selecting the winner, Natalie is the winner of the day pass and the 1-day rental of cross-country skis and or snowshoes, thanks to Christine Dorian and the crew, everybody over at the Porcupine Ski Runners.
That's right. And there is one catch, though. You do have to call a day ahead to book your time, correct?
Yes, because of COVID restrictions. Yes, you see there was an article I was just reading this morning. I think it was in the Timmins Times that states that, yes, we're allowed to go outside, but with COVID restrictions in place, even like places like the Porcupine Ski Runners, you do have to phone a day in advance to book your appointment. So it's by appointment only. You just can't show up with your pass. So Natalie will get you in touch with Christine Dorian and the Porcupine Ski Runners. We'll get all your info and get that pass to you. And you're going to go and enjoy some snowshoeing. Have you been to Porcupine Ski Runners, Jamie?
Of course. My son takes lessons there. I've been skiing there. It's a beautiful place. I love it. It's one of the gems here in Timmins. We're very fortunate to have it. I have it. The trails are always perfect. It's just
always
it's amazing. It's awesome there.
It certainly is. Have you tried snowshoeing?
Of course. Come on. I'm a Northern Ontario guy. I don't really fish or snowmobile, but I've done the snowshoeing, and I I love anything when you're outdoors like that. And yeah, it's amazing. So thank you very much, Porcupine Ski Runners. KINZ, it's time for me to go eat some pizza and watch the Bills go to the Super Bowl.
They're going to be going to the Super Bowl. Let's not jinx it. You don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse, right? So fingers crossed, Bills will get the job done. For Tuesday, we've got quite the night. What are you calling it for Tuesday's show? It is MTV night.
I'm going to call it MTV night. We have two gentlemen that we're going to announce tomorrow that have been on MTV's Real World and MTV's Catfish. Very nice guys from Philadelphia. They're going to join us. Americans with Canadians, we're going to see who has the oddest accent.
Well, you were saying they make fun of our accent, so
yes.
we're gonna see what we're gonna put our viewers to the test. And again, we can't find out till when a video. We're gonna post it tomorrow. Let that get out of the bag.
We're gonna announce it tomorrow. But KINZ, I'm out of here. Go Bills, go! I'll see you Tuesday.
All righty. Thanks for tuning in.